Rotation of block, rotate device back. All right. All right. So peace and love, family. Peace and love.
Hi, everyone.
All right. Hey, family. How's everyone doing? Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
If you can hear me, can you please put a 2 in the chat, please?
Looking at this one.
Oh, there we go. You can hear us? All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
All right. So, I'm really excited about today's conversation because we get to talk about homeschooling. We get to talk about postpartum care. We get to talk about really being able to basically usher in the support, usher in your community, do all the things that you need to do for your community. But the topic of today is specifically homeschooling. And we're going to talk about some topics when it comes to homeschooling. I want to share my experience with this amazing teacher with you as well. So thank you everyone for joining us on today's live. So this was inspired by the fact that I'm homeschooling a 2-year-old, right? She'll be 2 this Thursday. I'm homeschooling a 2-year-old in Costa Rica. And I never, ever, ever imagined that I would meet an educator, right, as skilled, as wonderful, as all the things as Auntie Juba. I did not picture my daughter being able to learn all the things that she has learned in just a short amount of time. And so prior to this homeschooling experience, I just kind of felt like I really didn't know because I didn't have any previous experience homeschooling. But I live in Costa Rica and I'm raising 2 girls. And a question that we get a lot is, what about school? Are you gonna homeschool? Are you going to, where's your community? Where's your support? So I'm coming to you live with a real testimony, real lived experience, living abroad, having the support in the community that I need, and homeschooling my child, my 2-year-old. And before I introduce Auntie Juba, I had no idea that my 2-year-old can learn all the things that she has learned. Honestly, I really put her in I underestimated my baby, and I feel so ashamed for underestimating my baby. But hey, it is what it is. So first and foremost, I am super excited to introduce Auntie Juba to you all because Auntie Juba she's been in the game, y'all, for over 30 years.
Over 30.
She's been working with,
although I'm not that old, but I started as a teenager, so absolutely.
And you started as a teenager.
Yes.
So she started as a teenager in this industry working with children. She immediately realized that she had a passion for working with children and that's what she wanted to dedicate her life to. So I have the first-hand experience working with this amazing woman. So she came to Costa Rica. She travels all around the world. So if you're looking for support, she will come to where you at.
I will come to you.
And so she will come to where you are, but she is here in Costa Rica supporting us. And let me tell you, this has been everything that I didn't even know I needed. She changed the whole parenting game for me across the board as it relates to postpartum care, as it relates to early childhood education for my daughter, homeschooling. So she, like I said, is very experienced. She's a doula, a certified doula, postpartum doula, and she has a
bachelor's in family and child and family studies, and then a master's in teaching and education.
Boom. So there you go. She got it. So it's not like she is sharing information with us that she just watched on YouTube.
No,
she really committed to these studies and really committed the time to really dive into this work. But let me tell y'all, this woman is so passionate about children and their education and their development. I've never seen anything like it. It's truly unmatched. So I introduce to you now Juliet, but she's our Auntie Juba. She officially has adopted us as her nieces.
That's right.
And that's just what it is.
That's
She's
right.
stuck with us now.
That's right.
I'll share.
We're stuck together for life, and that's with every family I meet. I feel that's the way it should be, because you should be able to reach out to Aunt Juba, whether we're together, whether once we cross paths, we're connected for life.
True, it's true.
So absolutely. But thank you for that wonderful introduction. Oh my gosh, it's unmatched. I feel like don't get my head too big. Oh my gosh. But thank you so much for having me here today. So yes, like Zainab said, we will be talking about the homeschool program. How do you set up your homeschool? And through my studies and my experience with my own 4 children, I adapted the Montessori the Montessori program, which I tweaked it a little bit because the way the Montessori program works is it's a method of education that is based on the child self-guiding, self-directing themselves with hands-on learning activities that are collaborative with play. So, and I modified it by allowing the child and also self-guided programs as well as adult guidance along with that program. And when I found out that program, when I actually put it to the test, it works really, really well. It addresses, where what we will be talking about today is when you are homeschooling, how does that look? How do you imagine that? And a lot of you guys have hopefully checked out some preschools or checked out maybe even some people that go to religious congregations. They have something like Sunday school or something like that. But it's always, you have a lot of visuals on the wall, from the walls all the way to the floor. So you could really, when you understand your child and what do they like, we're gonna cover the basics, which are colors, numbers, the alphabet, and you will, once you cover all of that, you will have this wonderful picture where you could decide whether you want it to be in the whole house, or do you want it to be just in the living room or just in the child's room. So the Montessori program allows you to pick and choose. So if your child spends a lot of time, think about where do they spend the most time with it, or a lot of time where in the house are they when you are going through your daily routine. So I always suggest, especially if you have to be cooking and maybe working where it's an open floor plan where you want to see them. So if it's the living room, so then that will take place. That will be where the school takes place. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be all purchased materials. These materials could actually be something you print out. Because we all have like color or black and white printers. So you could start by printing out the alphabet and then the basic colors, and then you get books along with that. So you are setting up your room to mimic what you will be what you would see in a preschool environment.
And so the experience that you have, that I have with Aunt Juba, so I didn't realize that I could do that within the own home. Like, I knew that I wanted to homeschool, but I felt like I had to go buy all this expensive stuff and do, all types of stuff. But what I have experienced with you and what you've taught me is I can turn my home, my space into a school without breaking the bank.
Without at all. You could absolutely think about I don't like using this term, but third world countries. They don't have access to what we have, like where you could just go to Target and pick up the colorful shells, you know. So that's where the creativity comes in for adults. But you could have color paper, maybe. So it's not a whole shelf expense, but the color paper, which you could cut and tape around something like a box, you know, and then that box you could make a rack for it. So, and then have your child involved in making these materials with you, because you could literally just between the printing and then after you print the basic things on the wall, then everything else to come, you do it with the child. That's a lesson in itself, being creative, and that will show them fine motors, their fine motor skills. You could start working on that. So, like for example, we've been doing since last week, we started with our alphabet. And what we literally did was we got plastic, like just a plastic cut into triangles, and we all have access. It could be a plastic bag, but we got these plastic, and then we put tape, which is painter's tape. So we cut those in squares, and Phoenix was aiding me in that activity. So this way it's child and a little bit of guidance for me when we're dealing with scissors. But there are child safe scissors out there as well. I believe if you're in the States, you could purchase some for very minimal amount from the dollar store. And then we just wrote or traced it with lightly, maybe with pencil or marker. And the final project was, because what is a child into? So we got glue, and in this case, Phoenix loves the beach. So some children love dirt. So you literally go and pick up dirt from the garden, or you know, whatever that might look like. Maybe it's rocks, so maybe fine tiny rocks, and then we put the glue on there. We traced it, and then she could pour the rocks on there, mess it up, and you know, we wait for it to dry, and it turned out, you know, beautifully, and it was all out of organic, or majority of it. Majority of the activity turned out to be some of it organic, and some of the materials were recycled.
And I'm a witness to this too. So for those of you that don't know, or those that have just joined us, Phoenix is not 2 yet. Like her
That's
birthday
right.
is coming up. So
That's right.
she'll be 2 this week, but she's 1. So I'm saying that because I'm emphasizing that your child can start learning as early as 6 months.
Absolutely.
Monkeys.
What was that?
Monkeys. Your children can learn as early as 6 months. Like Auntie
That's
Juba
right.
is teaching me how to start potty training, baby 7
Yes.
already. So I
Yes.
want to say that it's never too early for your children. And I just learned this from her.
Yes.
It's never too early for your children to be introduced to certain things. And
Absolutely.
within 2 weeks of intense learning with Aunt Juba, Phoenix can like sing her name.
Yes.
She can
Yes.
identify all of these different animal sounds. She knows her
Yes.
colors. Like she's using full sentences.
Right.
She's saying no ma'am, no thank you. She's
Right.
like she's a new baby. 2 weeks. She's a new baby. So I was
Yes,
asking Aunt
don't
Juba,
underestimate.
right. And I was asking you like
Yes.
how is it that she's able to learn so quickly and develop, and you explained to me like these are the pivotal times for a
Yes.
child's development.
Absolutely. And so it first starts with they're babbling around, and you're thinking, what are they saying? But that's their brain trying to actually bring out the dialogue. So when I came in the picture, when I first came here to Phoenix had a lot of conversation actually. So what that meant to me was, oh, you know, even when they're babbling and you're not understanding what's going on, you just see what are they pointing at. And so they, you know, she's pointing and she's talking, and oh, did you see the table? Oh, I think it is brown. Is that what you think? And just start to fill it up, and then fill it up. And so while they babble, you are responding with your words, with your clear speech. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, you understand what I'm saying. And because I'm watching their language, what their body language is saying to me, and the babbling that's coming out. So if we're talking about mealtime, and then they start to babble about that, and oh, what are you eating? How does it taste? Does it taste good? Really? And they just keep babbling, and then before you know it, 2-3 weeks go by, the words come out. The
It's
words
amazing
started
to
to come
witness.
out.
It's definitely an amazing process, an amazing development to watch firsthand, to watch my
Right.
baby
Right.
be able to do all this stuff. And my sister, we FaceTime every day. And the last time we FaceTime, I was like, Phoenix, show TT what all you've learned. Y'all, my sister was crying.
Oh,
She was literally crying. She was like, how does she know all those things? I was like, Auntie Juba.
Exactly.
And so Auntie
Go ahead,
Juba is
yes.
sharing gems with us right now. But what I also want to emphasize is that, it's not just about the children, it's also about the parents. It's about the parents
Yes.
being able to
You want to continue. You want to, because Anjuba has her style of over 30 years and my children and everything like that. When you are watching Anjuba in action, then I would hope when I'm working with you that you are creating your own approach and what is comfortable to you. Because also what I noticed might be an issue down the road is I want to do it exactly like Anjuba did it, but that's not the objective here. The objective is to understand, and children are so smart. This is why they could go from one person to the next, and they know how everybody operates because they are so smart. They know what to do with who. So she understands Anjuba's style, but then maybe grandma's style is a little bit different. It's slower. So when grandma reads her book, it does not sound the way Anjuba reads the book, but the child will understand that. That okay, when I'm with grandma, grandma takes it easy. She's not jumping around and have all this energy, and they completely adapt to that. So just remember, it's always you want to keep that up, and you want to make sure your child is advancing with every stage. And this is the crucial years, like Zainab was saying, between 0 to 5. They are taking in a lot of information. Don't ever think that it's information overload, because the way it's presented, it's in their everyday conversation. Just like if your child came to this session right now and they started talking, we're just talking to them the way we are talking together right now. So if they start inquiring about what's on the table, every moment is a learning moment. And this is what we want to imply in their, or duplicate in their environment. Everything that they see, touch, smell is all a learning experience.
And just piggybacking off of that, those of you that want to take your children out of traditional schooling, or you want to travel the world, but one of the things holding you back is like, okay, what about childhood education? So what Auntie Juba is really teaching us, or me, some of y'all might already know, is that like you can create a homeschool environment anywhere.
Yes.
And you don't need material. You
Absolutely.
don't need material to do it. You don't have to, like I said before, spend a whole lot of money to create that home environment. And homeschooling can be fun for you and your child. It doesn't have to be, oh, you download this 100-page curriculum,
no,
and you
not at
learn
all.
go through these lesson plans. Like, it actually can be fun.
Yes.
And from my experience, now homeschooling my soon-to-be 2-year-old, we have fun.
Right.
And it also like helps me to tap in with my inner child, because
Yes.
it's like you make
creativity
homeschooling
factor.
fun. You teach
Nice.
it in a way where it's like, let's dance
Oh,
and let's
yes.
sing and like let's use our imagination.
That's right.
It's not, all right, sit down, be quiet for 4 hours. It's not, look at these lessons. It's like, no, let's go in the garden.
Yes.
Let's go walk around.
Yes.
And this is something that I also really love. One second. I want to speak to a question that I see. So Aunt Juba does have a course for parents. I just want to let y'all know that.
It is coming. It is coming.
She has a course that's coming
Sorry, I'm
for
getting bit. I'm getting bit.
for parents like me. And it was actually something that I was really excited to learn that she had coming, because I was like, what I'm gonna do when you leave? How I'm gonna keep teaching my baby? And so this course is the Juba Jungle homeschooling course for parents.
Yes.
So the person I just said, I wish she had a website or some courses, baby. She does.
It is coming.
She certainly does.
We're putting it all together right now, and if you go on the website, you will see it there.
Yeah, you can sign up for it now.
It is.
Yeah.
It is available for signing up right now, and then you will get the course material by May
May
for this
1st,
one.
right?
May 1st. This one is going to be coming out May 1st. So yes, we do have a course for parents.
Yeah, the person that said I would love it, I'll send you the link. I'll put the link in this chat. But yeah,
Yes.
so not to interrupt, but Auntie Juba has a course that you can go ahead and get now. I got it. I'm gonna get it. And you can learn these skills. And the course goes through how you set up your home environment. It goes through like how you have fun. It goes
Absolutely.
through how do you let the child teach you.
Yes.
And like all the things that we think should come naturally, but they don't. For me, they
Yes.
don't, at least. So this course, you can definitely get it now. It's I think you have a pre-sale price right now.
Yes.
The
Yes, we
pre-sale
do.
you can get, and the course will be available on the 1st. And what I love about the course, y'all, it comes with the community.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
so
it
y'all
does.
mamas out there like me, let's connect and let's see if we homeschooling right.
That's
and we get to
right.
ask Aunt Juba a question.
Yes.
Twice a month.
That's right. That's right. We do have the community in there on the website. We could always share that link with you too as well. So this way you don't feel alone. The community will be Ask Aunt Juba community. So we're building and we're trying to get everything ready. And so when you go to the website, you would definitely see it there.
So I just put the link in the chat, y'all. So you can go ahead and click the link, and the link will take you to the waiting list for access to this course.
Yes.
So go ahead and get on that waiting list so you can get to the get that course.
Yes, the
And
materials.
what I'm looking forward to the most about it is the fact that I have access to it. Like, it doesn't expire.
That's
So
right.
when I need to refresh, okay, what did Aunt Juba do in this case? Or how can I set up my classroom this way? Like, let's say we go somewhere else
That's right.
and I have to leave my house in Costa Rica. And okay,
Right.
when I get to Spain, okay, how do I set up my
Right.
classroom so I can just go back
Exactly.
into the course
Exactly.
and like go through it? So it's constantly it's something where I can continuously learn from.
Right.
So I just wanted to put that out there. Y'all, that course is everything.
That's great. I see some comments.
So yeah, and so moving right along. So what I have observed, like I said, I'm a first time homeschooling mother, and thank you, Tori. I love it too. I love Aunt Juba, y'all.
Oh.
I love Aunt Juba. And I'll say this too. So I thought that like I had to go through all these. Like, I thought that I had to become a scholar, like, in order to teach my baby, and that I
Not
had
at
to
all.
like be super duper like master certain areas.
Not at all.
But I don't. I can just.
You just could be
The
just
jungle
the way
teacher,
you, yes. And what I love about that, you have this perception that you're supposed to go to school. But when you really think about it, school starts at home. It always has been a thing that starts at home. So when this is a conversation we were talking about earlier. So when you're at home, in fact, a lot of countries, like where I'm from, in Uganda, there was not such thing as a preschool. And the reason being is because they wanted that time to be dedicated to parent and me. So by the time your child goes to first grade, they already have their foundation. So this is what we are trying to do, is trying to have the child have all the fundamental materials before they actually start their first grade. So we all know our basics. We know we have to know colors, we have to know letters and spell our name and know some personal information about ourselves. But not only that, not just the academic part of it, but you could get to teach them, how to cook, how to, when they want to assist you while you're sweeping something. So this teaches them how to clean. It will go beyond that. So this way, you are not only touching on that just the academic, it's also the home economic part of the curriculum. So just don't think it's just that, I need them to know books, and I need to be a scholar, like Zainab said. You don't need to. There's so much they could do at home, that, now they get that one-on-one with you, as opposed to, not to say that preschools are bad if you take them to preschool, but you need to think about, okay, well, preschool is going to be a shared environment. Yes, it might be small ratio numbers, but the best is at home, because you touch, and then this is with their loved ones. So it does give you freedom to travel to, and that continues in whatever place that you might go to. Yeah.
Yep. So homeschooling is where it's at.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to look like anything that anyone else has ever shown you, or
That's right.
anyone else that has ever done. You can
That's
make
right.
it work for
For
you.
you.
And
Yes.
again, touching on her course, like the course literally is outlining like how you make it work for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And so earlier we were talking, and we were just kind of going through. Well, first, like I want to also shine light on your children.
Okay.
So Aunt Juba has 4 children.
Yes.
And the way that she raised them is so inspiring. It's super inspirational. And
Thank you.
I just
Thank
love
you.
how they've evolved to now they're adults.
Young adults.
And they still have that same mannerism.
They do.
They still move
do.
and operate
Yes.
using the principles that you instilled in them.
Absolutely.
And so they had no external
influence.
No.
No, they've seen it, but every time they seen it, because of what we did was such a norm, every time they saw something like that, they were like, what is that? Maybe, and that's what I'm saying, those first 0 to 5, once we did that, then the rest was just kind of piggybacking on what they have learned. And then we kind of just tweak it a little bit to teach them more. But that is true. When we were homeschooling, we started, now we did give them an option because we're in the States, and we always, again, going back to the Montessori way, we wanted to give options to see, this way they don't feel like, am I stuck in homeschool? Maybe I don't want to do homeschool. But every time they try to go back, we did charters, we did do private, we did public schools. They always wanted to come back. So around the time the pandemic was going on, everybody was forced to not go to school anymore. They were already so used to it and so acclimated, they just, oh, all right, well, that's wonderful, because this is what they used to. They get their materials, they're self-guided, and if they need help, we're there to help them. And that carried on, that Montessori way of doing things. And yes, even we went, our job took us away from home, and they could still focus and get it done the way they wanted to. Oh, thank you.
And so I'm just really inspired by her approach, and how I get to see that same approach manifest the way that it has in those children that are now adults.
Yes.
So again, those of you that are ready to homeschool, and like maybe you got extra chatter, maybe people are like, no, like it's gonna affect the children in whatever way.
Social way? No,
Yeah,
absolutely not. Because part of that curriculum, like I said, it doesn't have to be, sometimes learning could be outside completely for the day, maybe 2 times out of the day. So if you want to go to the beach for that day, you take some material, or go and find some things at the beach to bring back into the classroom and have that dialogue. Because what it really is the dialogue. What are you seeing? What's the color? What's the shape? This is when we're talking about toddlers, and between that age, between 2 and 3. So their dialogue is shapes, colors, numbers, and just keep reiterating that. It doesn't have to be a particular time, like, okay, at 8 o'clock, we're gonna open up our book, and it's just gonna be a coloring book about numbers. Absolutely not. It kind of comes and go and integrate into their day. So if you want to go just for a day. Maybe it's a play date.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the date today will be a play date. Remind them to look around. Oh, where are we? I see flowers. Look at those flowers. Oh, they're pink. Let's go smell them. So now you just touched on the review that you left in your classroom. You just touched on sensory, your sense of smell. So it's more dialogue and more being creative and being observant of what's around you. And this is the way children learn. They are completely mimicking what you are saying and what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And thank you for also emphasizing that for me, because as a parent, I have to watch what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like if I say
Yes.
something out the way, even my facial expressions.
Yes.
So like Anju was saying, the children mimic you.
Yes.
Y'all, I feel like I'm learning all over again. Like I'm learning how to use my voice. I'm learning how to choose the right words. I'm learning about facial expressions, because having her here with us hands on, I see firsthand, like, oh my goodness, yes, Phoenix does watch everything. Like earlier today, she was like, go away. And I was like,
And we didn't teach her that. But because she observed a show where they were saying go away to something that was like, maybe there was a scary creature on there, and she was just repeating but she knew, so smart, to say it to us in the right context rather. When she was watching the show, it was about something that's scary. So instead of her being scared, she would just say, go away. So she's not scared. But this time, she didn't want us to be, I think it was a restroom. And so she's starting to get that privacy feel, because she's potty training. And see, we didn't have to say, do you want your privacy? No, she just said, go away. Oh, okay, we'll leave and wait here for a minute. But look at how intelligent that is, that she was watching a show. She now knows the word to say leave, and then express that word with us.
Right. I was
so,
like, excuse me?
Yeah, we didn't say that, But so in that way, we just kind of explained it to her, okay, when you want privacy, you would say, may I have privacy? Or just say, privacy, please. Because in this age, it's always two-word sentences, thank you. If she wants water, it will be, or juice, please, until we get our sentence structures bigger. So larger.
So this live is all about the homeschooling abroad. It's all about educating your children, and it's to encourage you and to inspire you to educate your children however you feel like educating your children. And the icing on the cake here is that if you need some support, if you need a curriculum, if you need step-by-step guidance on where to start, how to start, you can get access to Aunt Juba's homeschooling course for parents.
Yes.
And so I highly encourage everyone on here to take advantage of her homeschooling course for parents, because it comes from, curriculum. Like, she has the credentials, right?
Yes.
So she already has the background.
In education.
So it's a
how
combination.
to apply it to your everyday, which you don't have to be a teacher. You are just a parent trying to teach your child and use your material and your style to get them that base, that foundation, which is very, very important.
I love it. I love having the option as a parent to do it the way we want to do it.
Absolutely.
So, the curriculum is for, you can apply, she specializes in 0 to 5, but the curriculum that you get access to, it's a Montessori curriculum.
Yes.
And you can apply it to any age group.
Right.
You can apply it to any age group.
Right.
So the link is in the chat.
Yes.
And the link is pinned for those of you tuning in from other platforms. The links are in the chat to join her to get that curriculum.
Yes.
And like I said, I know that she has a promo price right now to get it. So if you go ahead and lock in as a pre-order, that would be super phenomenal.
Right.
But I know that we are kind of getting bit up.
Yes, yes. The mosquitoes are out there. When the sun goes down, that's when they come out to feed. So we just want to make sure the baby doesn't get bit.
Yeah. And I definitely want to continue this conversation. And the beautiful thing is she has the community.
Yes. So the
So can you tell us about
community, the community is on that website as well. It's under Ask Aunt Juba community, and that community takes place. It's gonna start in May. We are getting it together. May, the first Saturday, or I'm gonna say the second Saturday of May, and then we will have it twice out of the month. And that's a membership-based community. And this could be asking me from parents asking me questions, maybe doulas, inspired doulas or workers that want to help in the work birthing place for moms. It could be caretakers, it could be grandparents. So it's just kind of, the community is for everyone that is interested in whether it's homeschool or doula support or the doula training, which we do have the doula training coming up in June 1st to the 10th here in Costa Rica. So if you have any questions, that's a good time to join the community and ask us any questions then.
Absolutely. So before we go, everyone look in the chat. The links are there. I'll be in the community because I need ongoing support and I need peer support because it's real out here. So, just even look at it as an opportunity to network.
Yes, and share. And share some of your experiences and what are you going through. So that would be wonderful to have. That's why we want the community to also get some of your feedback and your input.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I appreciate every single person for joining us. I hope that you were able to get some valuable information from this live. I will answer some questions real quick that I see in the chat, and then we will see y'all in the community for further questions and networking and community.
Yes.
So what grades and ages does Aunt Juba homeschool for?
The grades that I specialize in are 6 months to 5 years old. But I am certified to teach all the way from those ages all the way to 18.
Okay. Next question. For those that live in the States, Target has activities for outdoor learning for $3. Thank you for that.
That's perfect. Wonderful.
This is exciting. I'm a former elementary teacher. I also homeschool my own children who are in college, who are all college graduates. Homeschooling works.
Nice.
Yes. Shout out to homeschooling.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that, Miss Sandra. Questions. The link is in the chat. Does she have experience working with autistic children?
I have taught in the classroom, yes, with autistic children, but I don't specialize in autistic. But yes, I have worked with them. Yes.
All right, y'all. So I want to thank you so much for tuning into this live. Getting a little bit of insight about homeschooling abroad. Now you know, like, you don't have to have a whole lot of extra stuff to make it happen for yourself.
Yes.
You can just use your God-given skills.
That's right.
And get
That's
the course.
Right.
So you
and the course could be your guide.
Yes.
To help you just kind of get the ball rolling and start, and just so you don't feel alone. So the course will have a lot of great materials on how to set up, what might be needed just to get the picture painted and started to set up. So yeah, it will have a lot. We'll have arts and craft projects. We'll have some of the fine arts. Everything in there will be touched on.
Yep. I already signed up to be a part of your community. Thank
Yay,
you.
thank
This is
you.
awesome. Okay, everybody. So thank you, Aunt Juba, for sharing your gems with us
you.
and sharing your passion with us and for being so
you.
supportive of me and my children.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. The pleasure
Everyone
is mine.
here, thank you for hopping
Thank
on. Thank you for
you.
joining us. If I didn't answer your question, or if Aunt Juba didn't answer your question, join the community.
Please come in the community.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to network and
Absolutely.
ask Auntie Juba questions that we need answers to.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in the community.
Absolutely.
And thank you for joining this call tonight. All right. Peace out. All right.
Here, man, hold it. Okay. Hi, Cedric. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hi there.
Oh, yeah, we're so fast.
Okay.